It's been raining like mad tonight. Now that we're well on our way into November, I can look back at these shockingly awful images of the stolen air conditioning unit and the trash that I'd removed from here and the prior to first coats and everything of paint, and just feel so relieved that I've accomplished this much and ambitious for more. I feel ambitious all the time, but when I look back and see the infant stage of this home rehab versus the maybe third to midway point that I'm at now, I really can see how far I've come, which I've been reminded to regularly lately. It's just, I see it. I've come a long way, and I'm very proud. The oven and fridge that I got out of here, the cabinets that I've already moved around, renovating and remodeling. I've been having a really great time. This dark blue house is now white, and the kitten, oh, I can't even stand to announce, is getting his leopard spots so visible. I really just did not know that was gonna happen, and I'm really stoked. He's a leopard panther. I was in such a hurry leaving. I let that bin spill over and that blender break, and definition of traveling light, wouldn't you say? Offered a 2 p.m. time slot and took it. An elusive spotted panther house cat. Ugh. Why am I so lucky? I've had the great pleasure of watching this home and my kitten evolving what seems every day. I always feel inspired. Clearing this, but also just getting this tree off of the house. I've removed that. I'm just gonna get this off the roof. I already brought up that tree a lot. It was all the way down to the roof of my car pretty much. And backing up from the neighbors, making a distinct pathway here. Oh, good God. That definitely has something to do with the water not drying right there inside of the house walls. So I'm gonna clear all that. Basically speaking, it's just been a really rough week, and I got exactly what I needed, and I hope everyone else that I interacted with did as well. And yeah, this is why I never hang out with anybody else, because the people that I've always had around were very satisfying, and I can't settle for less than all the commotion that they stir in me. I put up these cameras, but I don't know how to actually wire them, and instead of wasting my time figuring it out, I just made it look really like they were attached and pointed in a direction. I'm gonna return them. I was out of town for a quick minute. I travel all the time, at least once in a year and a half I make a giant move. I get from state to state in between that. I was in Indiana, then North Carolina, then Indiana, then Oregon, then back to Indiana, all within like several weeks. So on the small scale, if you want to include the whole time that I was in North Carolina, a little bit longer than that, maybe like a month and a half or something like that, I did all of those pieces. But yeah, so I've kind of been all over recently. I've got various videos for you from everything. I'll leave this rambling at having heard a reading just recently involving a Krankenwagen, that when someone would get really upset, they would slip into their native tongue German, and that the teller of the story saw this person that became their friend shouting about an unconscious body at a party that someone needed to call the Krankenwagen because he was missing, and it stressed the term for ambulance. And I just really appreciated that because the whole story was about how the guy that was unconscious was not, that he was okay. And that even though Krankenwagen can sound very scary compared to ambulance, that it wasn't as dire as it might seem, and that sort of thing. And I don't know, I like having my life guided by an energy reader. I like working on learning how to read energy. So let's hang out. We're not happy-go-lucky caricatures of ourselves. We're everything, and life is everything, moment to moment. Every mundane little nothing that is a sign for you from something to enrich you as a person, something you're absorbing with all of your senses, and there's a reason for all of it, and it's very, very special that you get to be exactly you. Yeah, rockstar mornings, standing off of a cliff staring into the abyss nights. So anyway. Basically at this point I'm rehabbing with a vengeance. I've already been clipping down all these leaves from these trees. So there's actual sunlight on this patio and letting the house be its own distinct thing. Cut all of these. My makeshift fire pit. Ugh, got a few more things to get rid of. Hi there. Just painting the roses red. Welcome to the Holistic Goth channel, where I really need to balance work and play, so I've just been painting every inch of every wall with primer today for my new home and my project to rehab as fast as I can. I'm going to follow it up with going to see the Beetlejuice sequel, Beetlejuice tonight. Going to a private screening, drive-in theater kind of thing. I'm excited to see it. I don't know what I would pick to watch for a movie right now. I'm so excited about fall being in the air. I'm like, let me see the robots versus aliens and the gods versus the dinosaurs. I'm down for anything, and that cool air after even just a little bit of rain here the other night. It's just, I'm very excited for the eclipse coming up and the shift into fall very soon. In the last 3 weeks, I've been on the east coast of the farthest reach of North Carolina. I've been on the west coast over in Portland, and I've touched back again between to come back to Indianapolis, and so I've got my home set up here. I've been just trying to get everything in that nice jumping off point into the fall season, because that's always, I feel like that's always like my biggest transitional season throughout the year. It's like anything that was happening earlier in the year kind of almost like culminates for me in fall, it feels like. Just kind of reaches a crescendo. Very impressive, I've been told. The amount of delirium and functionality, making those worlds collide, is definitely a specialty of mine. I've been working so hard, and I'm excited to show you everything that I've been doing lately. There's just been a lot of movement in all categories. I've been the most grateful that I could be, and the most everything else that you could be. It's been a lot for the last few weeks, and I'm so excited to just be here, to have suddenly made like all of this headway. Like honestly, it's so elevating. This is this is the bedroom tour, this is the living room, getting everything brighter, just white everything. The flooring here is decent already. This is the most prep work anywhere, like nowhere else that I've painted, which is pretty much everywhere now. Has even this laid down. Just prefer to clean up afterwards so much more. But yeah, I'm very excited about the new project. It's very exciting to me to be able to hit things with hammers and paint them and just get the satisfaction of knowing that I'm doing the most that I can do with my hands, basically, that I know how to anyway, and that I'm learning more. I'm gonna make sure that I, kind of touch base after being on either sides of the country. I'm back here now, and I'm definitely taking tonight to kind of just reorient. I think after being here and there and kind of everywhere, it's nice once you get home to not feel like you're suddenly nowhere and just kind of like remind yourself where you're at. And you definitely need to get out a little bit more right now. Yeah, just really different sceneries. And I need to be able to get around, but I also love just kind of calling my soul home. They say if you say your name 3 times, or some people think that you have a name for your soul specifically that would be different from the one that you know. I think whatever way it makes you feel like you are all together there is amazing. And for me right now, it's the whole dating the city thing. Anytime that I can go out for an event, a drive-in theater, something like that, like it's just more memories that I get to build with this place that already means so much to me. I already feel very grounded just getting back here. It's so cool now to not feel like I'm just going from one place to a next place to another, with a lot of revisits in there, but to know that like this is headquarters for sure for me, where I'm gonna just keep coming back to this spot. So yeah, I'm very excited about everything, for all the projects and for all the stuff that I get to show you in a minute. I even to showing you, I actually have poison oak that I just kept, dancing with the devil on, and and I will say that peroxide, like hydrogen peroxide, and the peroxide effect of like honey and the nutrients of honey and everything else. Every time you get the honey wet on your face or reapply, I just think that's been the easiest way for me to resolve the poison oak while on the go or like in a new home environment. I don't normally ever have any issues. And so then once I got it and was almost curious, like just watching the fly or like whatever is getting passed around on Planet Terror, I just think that it's really amusing to, I don't know, just ride through the experiment and see how it goes. But I also just didn't really understand fully what was going on with it and just like how aggressive it could be for your first time. And so I just felt like kind of the whole time that I've had this, like this can happen sometimes where you're like, I know so many different remedies for this thing and I am just not in the best position to do that thing. So, I mean, honey is so great for your skin, raw, organic, all that. It definitely helps with the itching and stuff like that. It's really coming along in here, but I don't have the ability to use a bath because the bath's all chipped up. And so I'm going to learn how to re-glaze a bathtub. For now, like I just had to figure out like what's the easiest way if I can't do a garlic bath. It's not always the easiest to find exactly what you want at the time. The natural grocer that's both open at the time that you needed it and available in that area or whatever you're looking for and stuff. And so like there's always a really easy, I think, like simple answer, typically speaking, for any kind of natural solution stuff. It's just like if I'd known to, put honey on it to begin with, how soothing that would be, how simple. And I think sometimes too, like you just kind of, you're out of it, like just using sleep deprivation is like an intoxicant and just a vertigo stimulant and not being on your game or whatever. Like you'll be like, oh yeah, like the most obvious thing possible, like I'll just do that. I think as far as torture goes, if you wanted to get any information out of me, just threaten me with stickiness. So like the fact that I can advertise doing a honey mask, just reapply water a good amount. I would rather anything than to be sticky. Saying like always find your super simple answers. Like I'm telling you, like if I can do this stuff like on the road, I tried like every solution on this stuff because I just kept getting in it until just recently where I got like all over my face, and I was just like I need to find like the real easiest natural remedy right now. But anyway, yeah. Okay, well, I gotta get out the door actually, probably. Find your easiest solutions for stuff. There's always like a quick grab method that I think would help anybody for anything that they have going on. I'll bring just enough of that supplement and like have it ready to toss into my water. I'll bring first aid kits for yourself in life. Like I always find just eating healthy allows you to have that. It's like if you already have onion, garlic, and some good salts like Himalayan or sea salt or something, and if you already have that honey there, then when you read that online, you're like, oh yeah, like I can do like a hair mask with those. I can put it on my face. I can use it for wound healing. I can do anything like that. So after like actively not like making fun of someone that I read an article about, like where they were talking about like how they'd been petting their dog and then touched their face, or somehow or other something to do with the dog and the plant and the hike, and then touched their face and then got it all over their face and stuff. And I was making fun of somebody else who's always telling me like how bad they're getting their poison ivy and stuff, and I'm always like oh my gosh, and then you'll start telling me that it was like inside of your brain next or something. Just like I've never had it like this before, and serves me right to just not respect the process of it. Just sometimes you can't do everything that you would like to because you're traveling and you're just like figuring out each like natural store as you can. The easiest thing was honey, and I don't know why I didn't think of it faster. I got honey for consuming it, and then it was just like, oh yeah, like let me do this. Yeah. So I guess I should get dressed for the Beetlejuice movie. So yeah, experiment with it. Find out, cause like I hated the calamine and stuff like that. Like I didn't want to use anything like that. I still haven't recovered my sleep. Like I just combining the intoxications of paint fumes and not sleeping. I'm just so stoked on everything. This is gonna be such an easy rehab. It's already proving to be that. I'm happy with everything that we got here, and yeah. So find your easiest solution for anything. Don't be super lazy about it. Let's go see a movie. I love dating Indianapolis. The perfect weather. This line wrapped around for almost half a mile. I skipped like all of it. I knew better. I just pretend I don't. I'll say it. I'm a cataphile. That is, I'm someone who would greatly like to explore catacombs, particularly of a Parisian variety. I thought the original Beetlejuice was an excellent choice for all ages. The sequel seems geared towards a younger audience. Was fantastic to see absolutely anything in a drive-in theater very close by to my home. Especially an afterlife film with a fall atmosphere. I want to park away from people, but I also want a good spot. For not having showered in a while and having a face full of poison oak, I'm not doing bad. For concessions, I brought my favorite kind of apples, Honey Crisp, of course. My door still being completely full of shells, even though I've taken some out. And the rewarding feeling of knowing that I was invited by the realty company and greeted by my realtor. I can't help think of Grease's song Stranded at the Drive-In. Alright, I have this bag. And it gives me instructions for what station to turn the radio to and to turn my car on and off periodically to make sure that it doesn't drain the battery to have the radio on. It basically just tells you to be a good patron and to not leave garbage around. As everyone at the screening I attended had been a newer home buyer. Oh my. I feel like my windshield could be cleaner for this experience. Wow. It's still unclear to me if I was turning my car on and off more or less than anyone else around to keep the battery charged. But it was very relaxing to just go out, be able to kick my feet up on the dash and enjoy a fun movie that was definitely visually stimulating. I felt so giddy and right at home to see the Fright Fest marquee. Adam's Family, Afraid, Lost Boys, Beetlejuice. Kitty in a basket. I didn't even think you could get in there. Oh. Oh no. Oh, your hand pulled into the cave of panthers. Oh no, you got me. Serving up another fancy tilapia meal, but it's just Kitty in a box. Come out for dinner time. Oh, little kitty in a box. Oh my goodness. This is why he gets everything that he ever wants. On the list of fun combinations, maybe watching American Graffiti while at a drive-in theater. Oh, or like watching Jurassic Park or whatever jungle movie. Oh my God, King Kong, anything fun like that with the trees around the screen. The more that I thought about how to finish this video, I kept thinking I could really add every single thing that I do to it, because balancing work and play and having an easy, simple, more natural solution to anything is everything that I do. I was like, I could add like my job to this. Like, obviously my cat is a responsibility. Yes, sir, as he's letting me know. And so okay, gotta go. But you get what I'm saying. Like, I really made my whole life fun. So I hope you do too.